Hello my friends and welcome. I hope you're doing fine. And today we'll have a look at the next exercise of Exercism. It's called Pascal's Triangle. Let's go. So here we see the Pascal's Triangle. Let's read what we need to do. Instructions. Compute Pascal's Triangle up to a given number of rows. Okay. In Pascal's triangle, each number is computed by adding the numbers to the right and left of the current position in the previous row. Sounds complicated, but we'll go through. It will be easy to understand. They provide here a website. If you click on it, you'll open this website. You can have a look at it. I'll provide you a better website. So close this, open this one. It's called Math is Fun. And they have this Pascal's Triangle as well. So you can have a look at it, how they define it, how they have different ways to solve this exercise, basically. So it's really cool. All right, so let's go through what is Pascal's Triangle. So it's a triangle. You have one at the top, and the next row is 1, 1, and the next row is 1, 2, 1. Okay, so why 2? The 2 is a sum of the previous two numbers. So you have 1 here, it's 2. So let's go to our whiteboard. So I have 1. The next row is 1, 1. The next row is 1, this one, plus this one is 2, and then you write the 1. And the next one is 1, this one, plus this one is 3, and then this one plus this one is 3, and then 1. So basically, this is how you do Pascal's triangle. So next one is 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Okay, so you build the triangle like that. Cool. So they need us to do that. And how can we solve that? If you had a look at this website that they provided, basically they provide here it's a formula how to calculate each position of that triangle. So we have this in this website as well, but it's much better. So if you go down here, you see a formula for any entry in the triangle. So this is the formula. And how do they do it? So basically they say, okay, the triangle, we can see it as a grid. So a grid has a row and a column. So basically this is the 0, 0 row and column. This is the first row, 0 column, 1 column, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. So basically they put that in row and column. So the top is row, the bottom is column, okay? And then they take that and put it, they say it's called n choose k. And then if you do that, this is the formula for that. So you have n, and this thing, it's called factorial. So what is factorial? Factorial is basically if you have a number, for example, 4. So you have the number 4. So see my face. So you have the number 4, and if you want to make 4 factorial, you do 4 multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1. And the result of that is the solution, okay? So let's go back here and see how they do that. So they have 4 here, this example, and then you see 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? That's factorial. Okay, or they have it here as well. So yeah, factorial. Yes. Cool. So see, this website is really cool. All right, so what we need to do is, first of all, to build this formula and to build the factorial method. Okay. So let's go. Yeah, basically there's the two things that we need to do. Okay, so I hope this is understandable. So basically, so recap again. So you have 1, you have 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1. Okay, so what we will do, we will say this one, let me go back here. Yeah, so this one is 0, 0. Okay, this one is 1 because it's the first row. So let's put it like that. 2, 3. These are the rows. I'm sorry for my terrible drawing. 0. And then you have 1, 1. Okay? And then basically, yeah, finish the triangle. Cool. All right, so let's go back here. Okay, we said we need to, what to do? We need to do the factorial method, and then we need to do the Pascal formula method. All right? So basically you need to download this and then go to the terminal and go to the, yeah, and open the files. Okay, I did this already. So we have a class, Pascals Triangle. Let's copy that and go to dartpad. Let's delete this. And then we have, this is our class. And then let's see what we have in the test file. So in the test file we need this line. So this is how they call the class and create an object. And then we go down. This is the first test. And then we see that we our method name should be row. And the row has one input and it's integer. As you see in the next tests, it's all integer. And then the result of that, it's a list of integer. All right, so let's let's copy this one. So this is our first example. And then we can return result here, not return, print. Print, come on, result. Okay, cool. So we need this method. So we said that this method returns a list of integers, okay? And the method is called row. And we expect now an integer. And let's call this, I'll hide this for now. So what is this number that we're getting here? So basically in the instructions, it says a given number of rows. So this is basically the number of the rows that we are getting. Okay, so if I say 0, so I'm expecting 0 rows. And by row, I mean, where's the triangle? Yeah, here. Okay, there's an exception. So they start by 1. So this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth, fifth row. The 0 row, so basically this one, what we having here is, it should return an empty, list of string, okay? So it should return this one, an empty one. So this is a special case. So we need to have that in mind. So let's, okay. So let's call this something like max rows. Okay. Or this is terrible. So number of number of rows. This is much better. In programming, always write stuff like this, your functions, like not n or k or d or whatever, because if you want to come back to this code like after a year, you will have no idea what that means. So if you put number of rows, you will be like, okay, I know what it is. Cool. Okay, so we have here a special case 0. Okay, have that in mind. Okay, so this is our method, and we said we need two more methods. The first one should be factorial, and the second one is the Pascal formula. Okay, so we need all of this. All right, so let's go through that. Cool. So the first thing is, let's do the factorial. So we'll come back to the row in a bit, but let's start with factorial. So if you go on Google and search for Dart factorial, easy, you will get. Don't make your life hard. So copy paste is fine. So you will get this formula, this method. So basically what it does, if you have a number here, for example 3, so you go here and then you have 3 multiplied by factorial of 3 minus 1. So it calls itself each time. So you have 3 multiplied by 2, because it's 3 minus 1, call itself 2, calls itself again. It's recursive. It calls itself again, it calls itself again. This is what factorial is, okay? Cool. So that was the first one. Okay, so the second one is our Pascal formula. So it should be integer, because everything here, everything what we do is integer. So we expect integer. So Pascal's formula. And okay, so what do we expect to get here? If we go back here, we see that we are expecting 2 inputs. We need n and k, because our formula is built like this. So we have n factorial divided by k factorial multiplied by n minus k factorial, okay? So that's what we're building. So we need 2 parameters. So let's say int n and int k, okay? These are the 2 things that we need. And then we build the formula. So we have n factorial as a start. So let's copy this one, and we give it n. And then we say divided by k factorial. I'll put it in brackets because it's easier for. So because you need to be careful if you do multiply and divide. So usually it's multiply first and then divide, and so put it in brackets, it's easier. Okay, so factorial of k, and then we say multiplied by factorial, what was it? N minus k. So n minus k, okay. Okay, so we're getting error. Let's see what that error is. So it's 23, it's this one. So a value of type double can't be returned from the method Pascal's formula because the return type is integer. All right, how can we solve that? Basically, we can do casting. So we cast everything to make it int, or there's an operator that it does for us. It's this one. I'll link all of these websites in the description below, so you will have them. No worries. So you see it says division. but use to divide 2. Use 2 divide 2 operands, but give output in integer. So that's basically what we need. So let's do it like this. Voila. Cool. So it divides these numbers, but it gives you back as an integer. So this is basically what we need. So this is how you write it. And as I said, this website, the link, I'll put it down below. All right, cool. Now we have the Pascal formula, we have the factorial. So the next thing what we need to do is to test them. So let's, there are some errors, so let's put these out first. This one as well. Oops. Okay, so let's print this Pascal formula. And let's take an example. They have an example here, 4 and 2, if you see here. So they did the calculation, and if you want to understand how this calculation is done, you can look at this. So if you have 4 and 2, the result should be 6. Okay, we don't have it here. Yeah, we have it here. So you see it's the 4th row, so it's 1, 2, 3. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is the 6th one, so it's 4, 2. All right, so let's put 4 and 2 here, and we're expecting. Sorry, we need this one and call it like that. All right, so let's run it. And, okay, let's run it again. Okay, 6, see? That's the result. And you can double check if you want this one. So it's easier to go here and say, so it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. So let's do the 2. So it's 2, 1. Let's see if that works. So 2, 1. It should be 2. So it's working perfect. Cool. So that's the first task that we need to do, and it's already done. Cool. Let's kick this out, and let's uncomment this, and this, and this one. All right. Cool. So how can we solve this exercise going forward? Okay, so let's think about it. So what we said, that we have this triangle. Okay, until here. So we said it's we have a list of integer. So these are the list of the integer. So this is a list of integer. This is a list of integer. This is a list of integer. There's another list of integer. And all of this is in a list. Okay? So this is how they did it. So if this is a list, and all of these are also a list. Okay? This one, yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so cool. So how can we do that? So we said that we have the special case 0. It's up here. So this is the return of that special case. Let me go back first. Okay, let's keep this. Let's do it like that. So it's not 0, it's 1. Huh? This is the first row, second, third, 0 is a special case, it's an empty one. Okay, so these are our rows. So, and remember, we said as well, what we need is like something like 1, in this case 1 1, something like that, or 0 0, and then we need this one. It should be yeah, that's the problem, because you have here as like 0 0, but in our case we need to put this 0 0 as a special case, because 0 0 is because 0 is a special case. If you go here, you see they do this. It's row 0, and then it gives an empty list. If it's 1, it gives 1, only the first one. So they start basically by 1. And if we have 2, you see it's 1 1 1. Okay. So that's I don't know what they did it like this. So basically, yeah, things will change now. Okay, so this is the 0. Let's say this 1 1, and then 1 0, 1 1. Yes, this is 1 1. This is 1 1. It's, as I said, it's. We can't call this 0 0. It's okay. Let's call this 0 0. Okay. Okay, so you get the idea. So what we need to do is basically to iterate through this list. We say, okay, we need to create these inside lists, and then put all of that list in another list. Okay? So basically this is what we need to do. And how can we do that? So let's start with the special case. So we can say if we get a 0 here, okay, number of rows is 0, then we can return a list of yeah, basically a list of an integer, and it should be empty, like this. But we get rid of this, and then it should work. Okay, so yeah, basically this one it says it's a list. It's an empty list. Okay, so this is our special case, and we can return. We need to return result. We need to say what result is. But first, so this is the special case. For the other cases, let's define result. So what should result be? Result should be a list of an integer, result. And how can we, oh my god, how can we define something like this? Okay, so you cannot put a bracket or whatever and say, okay, that's it. You can do it like this. It's valid as well. So the return is now, it should be error, of course. But what we need, what can we do is to generate a list. So generate, and then make it empty. So we say 0. This is, I'll explain generate in a bit. So E, and give it an empty. Okay. So if we run, what is your problem? Okay. It's not defined for type Pascal. This triangle is not defined. How it's not defined? The method rows. Oh, I have rows. Okay, sorry. Okay, now it's... So it should be empty. Yes, this is what we expect. So our special case is now working. So if we go through it, let's say if a number is 0, it is 0. So return type is empty. And you see nothing because it's empty. Okay? Cool. So if we have 1 here, so what should happen? So we said we need to basically loop through or iterate through a list. So how can we do that? We can use for loop, for example. Yeah, let's do that. And we need to start by 1. Remember, because 0, it's this special case. So we need to start by 1. So E is smaller or equal to the number of rows. And we increment E each time. Okay? So basically, we go through, for example, if we have 3 number of rows, that will go from 1 to 3. So it will make 1 to 3 and 4 not anymore. Okay? Cool. So we go through the number. And what are the E's now? What is E in our case? So let's go here. E should be the rows. Okay? But we have our special case. So, oh, sorry. Yeah. So we have, this can be E. But if we put it like that, this one, it will be 1, 1. Okay? But 1, 1 is something different. 1, 1 is this one. Okay? So what we need to do is basically to say, okay, I, not E is in German, I. So I minus 1. So it should be 0 here. It should be 0 here. I'm sorry. Okay? And here as well, actually. So this one is row. I hope this is not confusing. And this is column. Okay? So our row is 1, but 1 minus... can I delete here? Let's make it 20 or something. Yeah. Okay, let's write it better way. Okay, so we have the row. The row, we said this is the first why it's not going away? Come on. Okay. All right. So row, this is the first row. So we have 1. The column is the 0 column. So column is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, it should be row is not 2, 1. I'll explain. And position is 0. This is 1, 1. Okay, so what we do here, so this is the first one, and we say minus 1 and 0. So we have 0, 0. This is our first column. Is it understandable? Because we said 0 is a special case, so we need to start by 0, 0 here. Okay? All right, so And I didn't do the I starting by 0 because I need it for something else. Basically, you can do it from 0. Okay, let's break it down. Basically, you can do it starting by 0, but you need to, we will generate a list, and this one, if you see here, a list, is the length, this one. So basically, either you do it 0 or 1, and then you need to put the length. Okay, let's do it like this. I think it's easier. Okay, we start by 0. So we need to do result dot add. So remember, result is the bigger picture, is the list of the lists. Okay, so this one is result. Okay, this big one is result. It contains smaller smaller elements, which are lists. These. Okay. So and this one we need to do. So we need to create this list, this inside list. Yeah, this inside list. Okay, and how can we do that? So I'm showing you here this generate. So with generate, you can generate a list. So easy. And then you give it a number for its length. So you say generate the length, for example, 3, and it generates a list of 3 numbers. Okay, and then you need to give it a function, like how should these number be created? For example, they have an example down here. Yeah, they want to generate a list of 3, and they have index multiplied by index. Index is the current iteration. So for example, 0, 1, 2. So they do 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. And now it's 1. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. Okay? And you have growable, true or growable false. So what does it say? What does that mean? It means that your list can grow more, or your list does not grow. It's standard. So the default value of grow is true. And in our case, we don't need that. So we will do default false. Okay. So the list, it's a list. It's a hard list. So it's not growable. So this will not grow. It will not have 5 digits in there. Okay. It's only have 4. All right. So list dot generate. Okay. So the first thing is the length. I cannot do a length of 0. So this is what I meant. I cannot do a length of 0. I need length of 1. So in this case, I need to do I plus 1. Okay. And after that, it's the index. What we saw before, the index here, just go away, index, okay. And after that, we need to put the formula, like the function of that. And what is the function for us? The function is, now we are going through each list. This is the bigger one. We're putting it in the bigger list, each small list. And by this, inside this, are the elements. This one. Okay? So we have the bigger list. It's called the result. In that list, we're putting lists of these one. Let's make another color. Let's not do color. Okay. Bigger list is a result. one below that is this list, and this list contains elements what we are now creating. Okay, so we did the example before, so we need Pascal's formula for that, and now we need to give it the row, so n, the row. What is the row? It's E. And what is the column? It's index. And basically that's it. So let's see if that works. So for 1 we get 1, hopefully. I don't know why I need to click like twice. All right. So for 1 we're getting 1, 1, 1. Okay, so if we go to our list here, we see that's not correct. So we need 1, 1. All right. So let's try. Okay, 0 works. Yeah. And 1 does not work because let's try 2. 2 should. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. So it's creating 1 more than we need. And it's basically because of this and because of this. So if we change this, we say E is 1 and we keep this E as it is, but change this E, this I, we say I minus 1 here. And now we run it. Now it's correct, okay? So this is what I said before. So start by E. It took me also a little bit to get this in my head. And as I always say, make notes. You always go through and make notes because this will help. And I didn't do it first. And I was like, okay, let's go. It's easy. Probably you need the formula and then go. And I got a lot of errors, like not errors, but you saw the one thing that I did. And in my solution, I have it on the right side. You cannot see it. Yeah, okay, you can see it now. So I have it like before. It's I is 1 and I is 0. But now when I was talking, I was like, okay, maybe we can do I 0 and we do the I minus 1 here. Maybe that is okay, but see, I was confused. I need to stick in my drawings and what I wrote. Okay, so that's stick in your whatever you do on your paper, then put it here. Okay, don't go and just. I know it's tempting to write the code and to make it your life easier, but it doesn't make your life easier. It makes it more complicated. So you need to know what you're doing. You need to have the idea. Programming is a tool. It's not the idea. It's not the solution. It's only a tool. You need to have the solution in your head, and then you can put it here. Okay? All right. Cool. So let's test 3. So by 3 we expect this one 1 1 1 1 2 1. Okay, we're getting here. Perfect. Let's try 5. So we will have a bigger one. So the last one is 1 4 6. Do we have 5 here? Yeah. Perfect. So basically this is how you solve this exercise. Cool. So next thing is to copy this, put it in here. All right. And then terminal. Let's do Dart pop get first to get our dependencies. And then Dart run test. So hopefully all of them, no, we have some true things here. Wait. Yeah. So let's change true to false, right? Save, and let's run that again. Oops. Okay, perfect. So this is the solution for that. I hope it's somehow understandable, and sorry it took 40 minutes, but I think it's important like to go step by step and to understand what are you doing. So terrible drawing, but just go through it, and if you have questions, just throw it in the comment and I'll have a look at it. And yeah, this is basically so this is basically how you solve Pascal's triangle, and there are multiple solutions for this. As I showed you in the Math is Fun website, yeah, you can have multiple ways how to solve it, but this is the solution that I did. And take it, try to understand it, and as I said, if you have questions, just do it down below. I'll see you in the next video. Steve out. Ciao.